MapDad here with part 2 of my adventures in Spain. After 3 days in Madrid and a day trip to Toledo, it was time to explore another destination. So MapDad and MapWife would be taking the high-speed train to, and apologies here to the knack, Barcelona. We left from the Atocha station in Madrid with its big indoor garden. Now, there are currently 4 trains that make this trip, and we chose Iria, the newest of the bunch. Pricing is dynamic. Our trip in a first-class coach cost 76 euros one way, but just 40 on the return. And depending on the time and date, I saw some seats for as little as 20 euros each way. We were fed in comfort and found ourselves zipping across the country at 180 miles per hour. In 2 hours and 45 minutes, with one quick stop in the middle, we had arrived in Barcelona. Where we splurged in Madrid for our hotel, we went for value in Barcelona and found it at the Practique Essence. The Practique, a chain with several hotels in the downtown area. And down an alleyway just off the Passeig de Gràcia, the main shopping drag in the city, we were in a deluxe room on the top floor. The room itself was small, but what truly made it was this outdoor patio with a soaking tub and a daybed. It doubled the space we had. And for less than 200 euros a day, the room came with breakfast that was available at the Oasis restaurant at the end of the alley out by the street. You could choose from avocado toast with a bowl of yogurt, a croissant and toast, or eggs and bacon. It was a great way to start. Now, there was also a happy hour at the hotel, 7 o'clock, free wine and snacks. Now, the location couldn't be beat. To put it in perspective, at the Mandarin Oriental, a block away, the cheapest room started at just under 600 euros a night. Remember, we're paying less than 200. As of this video, a euro is about $1.10. On our first day in Barcelona, we went to the Casa Batlló, a home built by renowned architect Antoni Gaudí, who is synonymous with the city. The price of admission at 35 euros was steep, and be aware you will not be in there yourself. It was packed. You do get an interactive tablet that through technology can get rid of the crowd, so to speak. In Barcelona, everyone says you have to ramble down Las Ramblas. Keep one eye out for pickpocketers, and the other at all the kiosks full of kitsch, phallic-shaped plants. Yeah, plenty of them. Disappointed we didn't get a chance to go into the Mercat de la Boqueria, the big market which for some reason was closed when we went by. And the Ramblas ends down at the water by a statue of Christopher Columbus. Lunch would begin the first of many tapas meals. Tapas are small plates. We started at Tapa, a big chain in the area, and sort of like the Chili's of tapas. It was perfectly fine and a good introduction. Dinner that night was right next to the hotel at the end of the alleyway in a dining concept called El Nacional. It's 4 restaurants, 4 bars. We ate at La Locha for seafood. It was very good. The next day, it was time to experience one of the world's most famous buildings, La Sagrada Familia, a cathedral begun in the 1880s and still under construction today. Gaudí took over the project in 1883, eventually working exclusively in it in 1914 until his death in 1926. Buy your tickets online in advance on the official website. There's nowhere to get tickets on site. It was 30 euros. That included a 45-minute guided tour, 26 euros if you don't want the tour. Now, I didn't spend the additional 10 euros to go up one of the towers. It's a long, narrow walk down, I was told. Now, there was hope that this building would be complete by 2026. Our tour guide said a more realistic end date for construction would be 2030. One fascinating fact was that the highest point of the temple could not exceed the height of a mountain nearby, according to Gaudí, since that represented nature and was God's work. In the afternoon, we took the metro to the Lesseps station and a 15-minute walk to the Parc Güell, which was initially envisioned as a housing development by Gaudí. Outside the park, which is at the end of a few blocks straight uphill, there are a number of small restaurants. But in an effort to find something local, we found La Salute, a truly delicious tapas meal, meatballs and cod and toasted ham and cheese sandwiches here. Delicious. As for the park itself, it is busy, but big enough you can find some less traveled parts. It's a 10 euro admission. The views are spectacular. For dinner that night, we asked the hotel manager for a recommendation, and we ended up at Anchoita, just around the corner from our hotel, and a true hidden gem. Shrimp, codfish, beef Wellington, everything we tried was awesome, And the desserts were great too. Creme catalan, like a creme brulee, and then mini French toast. Oh, yes. Yeah, since tapas are the way to go in the city, we discovered that a former president opened his own place. All right, maybe not. On our final day in Barcelona, a visit to the Picasso Museum, where there was a special exhibition on the friendship between Picasso and Joan Miró. There are no later masterworks here, but you do see how talented Picasso was as a teenager before he moved into more abstract works. Tickets, 14 euros online, 15 at the ticket office. Our last meal in Barcelona, again, was for more tapas, and I took the advice of some friends who said if people are just standing outside waiting to get in, get online. And that brought us to Ciudad Comtal, just a few doors down from Anchoita, actually, and it was also really good. A few other random observations about Barcelona. Be prepared to go out of your way if there's a big protest happening. This was for higher wages for nurses. And that smell you smell in some of the older areas of the city, yeah, it kind of smells like sewer. Still, I wouldn't hesitate to come back, though others have said there are a number of smaller cities in Spain worth seeing, but that's for another day. We took the Irio back to Madrid, then the commuter train to the airport where we stayed in the Hello Sky in Terminal 4. Now, this little hotel, 235 euros for the night, a bit pricey. You are paying for convenience, since in our case, we still had to take a tram to Terminal 4S, and waking up already at the airport takes away a little bit of the stress. And, by the way, if you're traveling abroad, get global entry. Best $100 I've spent. We were through customs in minutes, back in the States. I'm MapDad, hoping to point your travels in the right direction.